we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Discussion Combustion. We got Myles in tonight, Denver, Colorado's own Dolo Station.
Hell yeah, man. We had a great conversation. We talked music. We talked parenting. We even talked how to be a better person.
We learned a lot of things tonight, guys. We shared some good experiences and a couple cold beers, and we got the boys from Dolo Station live action with us.
They're in the house, baby. Let's go. This is the Dolo Station in the building, doing magnificent things. We got Myles in the front. Who else we got in here? True Legend.
B-boy.
G-Money and B-Boy. Talented Denver artists. Check out the episode. Share it if you love Denver music. Let's go.
Circulate that thing.
Last time you were in here, you weren't on the mic, but you sat in on Danny Del Real's episode.
Yeah.
And that was fun. It was fun having you in. We're super excited to have you back. Myles runs a studio here in Denver.
Dolo Station.
Dolo Station. Mm-hmm.
Been coming a long way. We got a lot of changes coming too. It's really good stuff coming.
That's what you were kind of saying last time you were in here sitting on the couch, you know, the development of what you guys are doing down there. Can you kind of enlighten me on the start of that, how it's developed? I know you kind of touched on that briefly, but now that we got you on the mic, how's that all, you know, where'd you start? How's it going? Where's it headed?
I started with an ex-business partner. First had it as Infinite Sound. And that one was progressing. Like, we were getting going. But life hit, and me and my partner had to part ways. And I was like, well, I'm not giving up. I kept the space, came up with the name, Dolo Station, and had to get me a new team. It was a little hard doing it by myself.
Oh, for sure.
You know, that's why I brought in B-Boy.
And we got B-Boy in the house tonight, actually.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah, we got a whole crew. I know all the angles that I can hit here.
We're gonna need to get another angle on the couch crew at some point.
The crew, we'll get y'all in.
We'll get you at the end.
Yeah, we'll get y'all in. But we got Myles' crew in the building tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Brought the energy.
You know, B-Boy became my right hand man. You know, he's best producer in Denver. I'll tell you that much. But got him going, and we're just working on new business plans, new business formats to be able to offer all these artists out here in Denver.
It's excellent,
Nice.
man. It's good to keep innovating, growing the business. You know, kind of brainstorming with some of the best in the community, obviously. And yeah, it's tough. It's a tough space too, coming out of COVID. A lot of people were indoors, and now we're getting back out to being able to go to studios and do stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, this is a good time to take advantage of it.
COVID was a blessing in disguise for me because I was able to get the studio during COVID.
Okay.
You know, and
So you don't think it would have played out the same way if COVID didn't happen?
no.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, being a family man, working, paying bills, and you know what I mean? And when I got laid off because of COVID, you know, unemployment, that's free money. Well, I don't have to pay that much bills anymore. And I was able to get what I needed to get the studio going.
Hell yeah.
There were some good things that came out. I mean, we're kind of in a similar boat, Art. When we found this space here, it was during COVID times because nobody was renting studio spaces or office spaces, right? It was a good opportunity. You said it was kind of a blessing in disguise, to make the best of a shitty opportunity or a shitty situation to make a good opportunity, I should say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's life seems to be like this, right? Like, there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be hurdles to overcome. But on the other side of those failures or difficulties or challenges, whatever it may be, like, that's where true success is. Like, you're never actually going to succeed when you're just, like, coasting, right? And not doing anything. Like, you have to overcome something in order to make something.
Exactly.
Or else you're just, like, mundane, like you're normal.
Yeah, you just sit there, tread water.
Right.
You know what I
Spinning
mean?
your wheels.
That's all you're
Stick in the
doing.
mud.
You have to feel every emotion.
It's true, man.
Go through everything to be able to.
Can't skip a stair, right? You got to take every stair up the staircase.
Exactly.
No, that's absolutely it, man. I agree with you there. So when you acquired the space, obviously during COVID, a lot of people weren't getting out and about. What did that look like as far as marketing it, getting in touch with these guys? How did all that come together?
During the COVID process, it was it was actually felt like it was easier because no one had anything to do and we were open, you know, underground. We weren't marketing professionally, just on Facebook and whatnot. So people were actually wanting to come because it's like, oh, I can get out the house, go to the studio.
Yeah.
So I mean, it worked out nicely during COVID, but once COVID started, we were like, fuck this, and it just started popping. But it all slowed down, and that's why we went to where we did, and now it's Dolo.
Dolo Station. I do like the name. Has a nice ring to it. What's like? What are your capabilities inside the studio space? I think you may have asked a little bit about this. Like, are you guys capable of having like a full-on band come in there with like a drum set and all that sort of stuff, or like how?
I could make that work.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have the proper ceilings in my location, but I can make it work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, my old partner did do live bands a lot. Like, he had a lot of Mexican bands come through, and he'd record every single instrument from like cello, guitars, everything.
What's your favorite instrument?
To record?
Yeah, no, just in general. Like you're the one that when you hear that one play, you're like, that's the instrument.
Saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that, I'm just like, ooh. You know?
That's got that emotional hit.
The sax definitely, it rings supreme. And like when you hear a saxophone come in correctly, like it's unmistakable. Like you're going to recognize that.
Yeah,
right?
I recorded one saxophone in the studio too, and it was just fucking amazing for me.
I bet.
It was amazing for me. I was loving it.
So you have the capability to do a full band. So like, let's say a rock and roll band comes in, they got a full drum set, they got 2 guitar players, bass. You could do all of it.
I could do it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Make anything work with what I got.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things too. It's like, you know, even if you don't know how you can do it, like you're just like, I got this. Like sometimes like that's what it takes too, is like just forgetting about like, you know, oh, I haven't done that before, or I'm not as experienced in that area. Well, time for a fucking trial run. Like that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be like that. Like I'd be like, I don't know if I can. You know, you could try it. We can try it. But now I'm like, no, I can.
Send it.
I can. I can do it.
Own it.
Yeah.
You know, even if I don't know, yes, I can.
Just that
You know what I
mentality
mean?
right
Like,
there.
yeah, I have to.
Anything's possible.
Have to.
Yeah.
You know, that's a client I'm missing out on if I don't.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you in there like 7 days a week? Because I know like sometimes when it's your own baby, like it doesn't necessarily feel like. Does your job feel like work? What you do?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
But I'm not in there 7 days a week anymore. I got I gave a lot of responsibility to B-Boy, and I'm kind of just working right now as the mastering engineer.
Okay.
You know, I mix and mastering, and that way I could work on the business ends and stuff. So
Kind of handle some more of the administrative end of it.
Yeah.
A little bit more hands off in the operations. It's good. So you're starting to, you know, build this thing into an operations and a big business and scale it and figure out what's our target audience for customer base and whatnot.
exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's terrific. I'd like to come down and check it out, man. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I'll have to come in there and put some flows on that.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
mean-
Yeah,
I'm like one of the old school Colorado rappers that never got his name, but I definitely still do that, man. Like busting freestyles and all that, man. Like music is a part of me, and it's fun to get around people who have that creative gene though too, and like, you know, having AGM on and having Danny Del Rio on, like, and Sarah Christine,
Yeah,
and like
that's fun,
all these other musicians and stuff. Like it kind of like revamps like that feeling. And so to like have that as like a full-time job, like what you're, you know, doing on your day to day, and like, sure, like you got to figure out like accounting and some other things that like you probably, you know, because to get to where you want to go, you got to do some things you don't want to do, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's how the saying goes.
Got to roll the dice
Yeah.
here and there for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there's a lot of things out there that I do not want to do,
I can understand that.
and I'm just like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, just because you got to.
Well, and when you run your own operation, you can kind of decide, hey, this works, this doesn't work. What do I want to do? What do I don't want to do? I mean, it's very similar to what we do here. We run the production side for podcasting and audio and stuff. So, we do a little bit of that too, and trying to scale that and find the appropriate market for it.
Yeah.
But the music stuff's fun, man. I'm just glad it's back. Concerts are happening. I was telling Art actually yesterday, I'm ready to get back into it. I played with the Ridge Runners for a couple years, a little local country rock band. I'm ready to get back out and do some music, man.
Yeah.
Now this shit's over, I'm ready to grab a Mark guitar, come on down to Dolo Station, record some tracks.
Yeah, you should, man. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, that's going to happen this year.
Bring the business in.
Yeah.
We were doing karaoke last Thursday, getting our musical roots.
That was fun.
Yeah, back dialed in.
We got a little sideways
it
that
was
night,
fun,
but just getting back out on the mic and being out, doing that kind of stuff, different than what we do here, of course. It's like, man, I just know that music, there's just something about it. There's something about performing it, writing it, creating it, that is just very different than this, and I like scratching both of those itches for sure. So I'm gonna keep that in mind, man. I'm gonna get you on speed dial when I'm ready to come down and record.
We're gonna have to do karaoke one night too.
Let's do it,
man. We all went to a Del Rio show.
Oh yeah,
and it was connected to a
karaoke bar.
Karaoke bar, and after the show, we all went and we did a Bedrock.
Okay.
Everyone kept taking the parts I wanted, and so when I got to my part, I didn't know the words.
Oh, that's the fun part about karaoke. Everyone just kind of wings it, go out there. And usually you're half in the bag, and that's the fun part.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Karaoke is fun, man. It's like, it's good not to take yourself so serious, but like, I don't know. Every single time I go to do karaoke, I'm just like throwing a hip hop beat, and I'm about to just rap over this thing, like, and go in there and do a quick freestyle, and that's what's fun for me though, personally. Or I would bring in like a CD of like my recording, CD where it had my dubs and everything on there. So it was like you hand that to whoever, and that's like a good live version to play. So I'd bring that to karaoke too. But what got me into music, I was like around 11. I was younger, right? And I remember like my older brother, he was a major influence for me, and he was like hella into Tupac at the time. So that was like one of my main reasons why I got into it around 11 years old, and like I started messing with lyrics and stuff. So that was kind of like my intro journey. What was your intro journey to music? Like, did you like always want to make beats, mix and master? Were you trying to be like a vocalist, or what were you doing?
When I first jumped in the music scene, I was trying to rap.
Okay.
I started in a rap trio. We went by Forward Music, and yeah, I sucked. We had a good running too, and I decided some life shit happened, and I had to step away from it. But now I look back at it, and man, I was garbage rapping back then.
But did you have a good time doing it?
I had fun.
See, I mean, that's half the battle, right?
Yeah.
Is enjoying your time and really enjoying what you do.
I found the love for engineering during that process, because we recorded everything in our basement, and I fell in love with that.
Well, there's something about that, right? Because like I always had melody and rhythm, but I never knew chords, so I would like literally have to have like the training manual for pianos open, and then I would be like, okay, here's this chord, and I would like just plug it in once, and then you can digitally like copy paste that and like move things around and do your thing. But there's something about like that process of digitally composing music that when you start putting every layer on, because it starts as one noise, right? Like you have one sound, and then you like add the next and add the next, and like and then sometimes you add one and you're like, that one didn't really work that well, and then you remove it, add another one. But like once you get them all together and it's like hitting, there's like something about, it's like a euphoria that you feel like in this creation process. And it's like, it gets you high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and I don't make beats.
Okay,
so that's producing. I don't do that. That's
you come in and you clean it up.
Yep.
Get the levels right.
I make you sound right.
But that was always hard for me too, because like I would be making all the tracks. I would record at the same level. I would do everything at the same levels, and then when I would mix and master to MP3 and put it on a CD, then all of a sudden, like when I'm going from track 5 to 6, like 5 was way lower than 6 for some reason. I would have to like go back and redo it. Like that was a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
So have you dealt with that same thing, or like?
Oh yeah, you know, when first jumping into it, you're just like, what the hell am I doing? Like, how am I supposed to do this? But I mean, I went to school for a little while before it, so I learned a lot, and then I got an internship. So all my learning process, I was like, okay, that's what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
This whole time, you know, I was able to actually see and hear how to do it properly, and now I am who I am now.
running the game. That's what that is now.
Well, I mean, that's good old, repetition's the mother of skill, right?
Yes.
And the more times you do it, because I know, like, we do a little bit of audio production here, nowhere near on the level you do, but just balancing levels, making sure things aren't clipping, right? Making sure things are leveled out. Just that in itself is a process. And then you start to work in bass tones and vocals and all this other stuff. When I was working with the Ridge Runners, we tried doing some of our own mixing and mastering. It sounded terrible. Like at the end, we're like, okay, we have a finished product, but we're missing something here. It just sounded dull. You know, it was like a garage track, right? So it wasn't a highly produced record, but it just takes that special finesse that I never quite understood when it came to mixing and mastering music. I'd rather just plug in and play.
I got friends that will send me some masters that they did, and just like, no, bro. Send it to me and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it sounds good to a certain extent, but to an engineer ear, it's just like there's a lot that needs to be done to it.
So if you're not making the beat, like, let's say, do you like get a beat and has all the files in there, so you could individually like lower or raise the noise of like a snare drum or like whatever, like,
yeah.
So you can like go in and completely tweak everything.
You could do that
and get it. Okay. It's hard to have that ear, like, because to have that ear of, like, what sounds good, you have to have, like, a certain level of confidence, like, what I think sounds good is correct. How long did it take you to like, get that confidence?
Took me a while, because, I think something sounds good, but then my mentor is like, no, and so I just, after learning... So I entered with him for like 5 years, interning with him, just trying to learn it. It's so much, excuse me, there's so much to learn in the engineer seat that it's just like, I needed that much time. Schooling was not enough. And so I had that much time to learn, and now I hear everything. And so, like, I'll be at concerts and be like me and B-Boy were at a show, and we're just like, oh my God, it's hurting my ears, the levels are so wrong. But,
throw off the balance of the entire track, performance, what have you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there also hits a point too where you get like burnt out. Like if you're mixing and mastering all day, does it just get to that point where it's like everything starts to bleed together? You got to get up, walk around, listen to something different, kind of reset the mind.
Oh yeah, I gotta leave for the day. Yeah, like once I get that attitude, I gotta leave, because when I jump back on, I'll just be
fresh
like,
ears.
Just
gotcha.
Trying to get it done.
Yeah.
Without really listening to it. No, I can't do that.
To half-ass things, because I've cut a lot of corners. I've made a lot of circles in my life, you could say, like running circles and shit, going nowhere. But that's what cutting corners does for you. Is like, it doesn't bring you anywhere new. And you end up having to come back and like square it out regardless. Like I'm still dealing with shit that I fucked up with in 2016. Like my dumb ass, bro, I was getting so high off opiates while selling cars. Like, it was getting high to working to get high, like, and going tax exempt, and like doing all the wrong shit that like was not sensible, but I was living for the day, so I didn't care about long term. Well, I do now. And so I'm like paying back all these debts. Like, I just got hit from the Colorado Department of Revenue. They're like, yeah, you owe us like $3,300 for that year you didn't pay taxes and shit. And I'm just sitting here like, I guess everything does come back eventually, right?
Oh yeah, it all comes back full circle. You're just in the hamster wheel. It'll just keep coming.
It's life in the big city, It's unfortunate, but it's a good opportunity to get yourself dialed back in and learning experience, right?
Oh, I'm in a good position right now to handle it, right? And I'm fortunate for that, but really just the whole point of saying that is like sure, I might feel lazy one day, or I might not want to do it the right way because that'll take an extra 10 minutes or something. You know, like we all give ourselves excuses for whatever it is at some point. And all those excuses are bullshit. Like, and it creates more work in the long run. Like, the more that you sell yourself short or cut a task short up front, the more shit you got to deal with on the back end. And I don't know. I've dealt with that in my life experiences, but that bleeds over to, you know, businesses, to friendships, to hobbies, whatever you're doing, you know?
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, when I kind of first did it, I took some shortcuts from doing the mastering process and ended up having to edit it like 3 or 4 different times because I was just trying to do it too fast. And
Having
just,
to work 2 or 3 times as hard.
Yeah, and it's just like, just do it right the first time.
Yep.
Every time I take my time on it, I don't get it back. You know, they're happy.
It's true.
But if I cut it corner, I get it back. So,
That's putting in the reps, you know, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, finding out what you want, finding out what you don't want, and
so
everyone wants to take the easy road.
yeah. So if I don't feel like I can give it 100%, I will tell them I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Instead of okay, I'll do it
Right.
because you know I'll give you a shitty product. Can't do that.
Right.
I mean, I feel like that's fair to be honest like that too. It's like, yeah, I'm interested in doing this work for you, but I got to make sure that I'm 100% when I'm going to do it. You know, and then that way, you know, even though they might want this urgency, like I need it done right now, like I wanted it done weeks ago, like how come you can't just do it right now? And like, look, I need to be 100 for this, and if you want the best product that I can provide, then this is how it's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I just got done with that. I had an artist hit me up for a master, and I just had to keep putting it off because I just wasn't ready yet. With all the stuff going on with my life at the time, and I was just like, I can't. Finally finished it yesterday, and it came out amazing.
It's a good feeling. It's a good
Yeah,
feeling. Put the seal of
yeah.
approval on it. You're like, all right, this one's ready.
Yeah.
How long would you say a master normally takes?
I like to give 72-hour turnaround rate. I like to do that. Just so that way it gives me time. I'm not pressuring myself. Also, it gives me time to sit there with it, like to really hear what I need to do to it.
So 3 days, basically. Master anywhere from 12 to 15 tracks-ish, give or take.
That's just one. One track every 3 days.
Okay, one track per I was thinking in a full album. No way. That's
I
going to take.
I take my time with my stuff.
Yeah.
And it shows when you get it back. It shows.
Yeah. Get out what you put in.
It's true. It's too true, man. I mean, I wasn't going that hard on the master. So as far as my music production goes, like, you know, I'd make up the beat, do the lyrics, record everything, right? So everything's recorded, and then you start tweaking the levels, trying to figure out, dial it in, like where's the levels really gonna work, and then I would bounce it to like a 2-track scenario, and then master that. You know what I'm saying? So you bounce everything and then master what you bounced. That's how I used to do it, and it was like, I know I wasn't doing it in a diligent and the long correct way, you know. So I mean, that's one thing about music though, is like there's so many varieties of music, and like I'm sure there's like 20 different ways to master too.
Oh, there's a bunch of different ways.
You know,
there's different techniques and everything. Like engineering never stop. You never stop learning something new. There's always something new. That's why I love it. It's challenging all the time because there's so much new stuff to do.
Yeah.
There's so many different plugins. That's
New
why
instruments.
I love it. You know, instruments, everything. You know.
and you're from Denver, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I grew up off of like 17th and Monaco area, like right around there.
Okay.
Where which part?
I was kind of all over the place. More of the Thornton and Westminster area.
Okay.
So
So I mean, Colorado's changed a lot in the time that I know we're around the same age, but like it's really changed a lot. Like with people coming in here, and when I was selling cars, there was like they were saying that there's like 100,000 new people moving here each year. So how have you seen that impact your business in like the last 2 to 3 years since you've really been getting this off the ground? Do you like work with a lot of people from out of state, or
Yeah.
do you feel like there's a lot from in state too, or?
A lot from in-state. I'm trying to get more out-of-state people. But I mean, I meet a lot of people from out of state through music. They just they got a different sound that I'd rather have them than the Denver sound come in. Honestly.
And what's different if you think about the Denver sound versus the out-of-state sound?
It's tough. Just I don't want to
Yeah,
hurt
just,
people's feelings.
It's different.
just got a different
Yeah,
flavor.
It's just different. All right.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's
Yeah.
like eating a burrito here versus Texas. It just tastes a little different.
Yeah, it's not like Colorado green chili is bad. It's just that there's spicy peppers in other places too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I smell what you're stepping in.
You know what I mean?
That's funny. No, but I feel you on that, because being a native from Colorado, I don't feel like I meet too many natives in general. Like it's like maybe 10. It's like 10%, like 10 out of 100.
You think
people
10% natives?
that I run into,
Really?
at least something like that.
It's kind of a melting pot here, I guess.
I
I'm
mean,
from New England.
yeah, you're one of my best friends from New England. One of my other best friends from Queens, New York. One of my other ones from
New Orleans.
New Orleans. So it's like you get all these people from all around the place, and I feel like it's kind of like definitely a melting pot city. Like you don't really get a Colorado flavor because most of the people that are from here are from out of state and are like influencing what's happening here. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
It does. And then on top of that, the natives that are doing music too are trying to bring other states' style out here, and it's just not working for them.
To put it lightly.
Hey, sometimes you gotta taste the dish a couple times before you get the seasoning right.
That's it. You master the craft, right? I mean, that's the business you're in for sure.
Yeah.
It's too true, man. But that's one thing that's different about music compared to podcasting, right? Because Kevin and I, we both been in music, we both done that, and I was in the Denver hip hop scene. Like I used to, go to all the bars and like perform and stuff, and it was kind of cliquey. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it was hard to like, some people showed love, and like I appreciated that, and like I made some connections, but in general, like it was like everybody felt like they were the best, and I'm better than you type of mentality, and that I feel like in music, that's kind of across the board in some ways. And I'm just bringing this up because you're super familiar with music, but I also wanted to like kind of talk about it with podcasting as well, because with podcasting, it's been like the exact opposite. We came into the game, like we started doing our thing, but it's like open arms. Like there's room for everybody sort of thing. Like there's no competition to be the best podcast.
Yeah.
I guess.
I would agree with that. I think, comparing music to podcasting, it's just it changes year to year, though, I feel like. COVID definitely changed that because podcasting really elevated, because you could do it from your house. People were on Zoom, they could do live musical performances. There was just a different element that happened, I think, through the pandemic for sure. But I do agree with you. I think the general, reception of it has been pretty universal. Everyone's trying to support each other, networking like we're doing now, all that kind of stuff. Music, I didn't see too much of that in the side of the music that I played in, but I also didn't dive too deep into the commodity of the music business. But I could see, look, everyone's out there trying to do it, and everyone's capable of doing it, but it's a saturated market, right? So I guess it comes down to how you want to market yourself, how you carry it through, but I can see the similarities there and the differences.
Yeah, podcasts are, everyone has something different to bring to the table with a podcast. Like,
Yeah,
that's
you
true.
know what I mean?
Everyone's got something to say.
Yeah. And own opinions and whatnot. And music, everyone's basically trying to rap about the same shit. Same thing every time. And I know exactly what you mean about, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Denver, is everyone hates on everyone instead of trying to build together. That's the number one problem with Denver music.
Yeah.
They're trying to step on each other.
Well,
To,
when I've heard that across the board, like not even just like the rap hip hop spectrum, that it's even like, but you didn't see that in your genre, but I've heard that with like other bands and stuff.
I've seen it in the rock industry here for sure. We've definitely seen it with some folks that we know. You know, I only played a couple shows. We were just getting out before COVID shut us down. But we were also kind of in a unique genre of that kind of rockabilly country rock, which I mean, Denver has a spot for. But I never really saw it too much on my end. But you know, I know when you were out there trying to get it, you saw it quite a bit for sure.
Well, I mean, I didn't get like too involved. Like I always kind of kept to myself. You know, with like the nature of that music industry, I guess. And but I could just tell like there was this one time like I'm assigned to this little small indie label, and they got Warner Bros out, and you know, everybody's out there, gets a chance to perform at the Roxy and show Warner Bros what they got, right? Maybe you'll get signed to Warner Bros. And people are going really like hard and doing extra long sets and like doing way too long sets, and people like start getting upset, and before like the normal time slot was even over for that event, like they closed it down early because the amount of friction that was developing there, and like the rep left and everything. Like I didn't get to perform that night. Like I had to go meet him at a hotel like within the next week or something. But it's just like that kind of energy and tension. So it's like how do you deal with that in your seat then, or like, you know, because you got these egos walking into the room potentially, and you have to like, you know, continue to be humble about like, hey, you know, this is what's gonna work, or like put them in direction. So just kind of curious, like, you know, your mentality to deal with that sort of mentality.
I just leave them alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they come in there with that type of ego, you know, just that's their ego, you know. I'm just pressing record and making you sound good at that point. You know what I mean?
Just there to offer a service.
Yep. That's all I can do. I can't
keep the emotions to the side.
I can't stand the ego like that, but I mean, I deal with it in my line of work. I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So just kind of just keeping neutral with it, just accepting it for what it is, and being like, okay, I'm here to provide a service. I'm not here to, you know, bicker and you know, compare egos and this guy's better than this guy. I'm just here to make you sound good.
Yeah, just because they're like that doesn't mean I have to be.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. It's a good, humble approach. What would you say is one of the biggest challenges that you've experienced since stepping into this industry?
You can say a couple of it.
Yeah, like to be one. You know, a couple things come to mind.
I mean, and from an engineer, biggest challenge is recording the punch-in artist.
Yeah.
they go 2 bars, stop, punch in 2 more bars, punch. That is rough.
That's work.
That is work.
Tedious, right?
Yeah. It was just, I'm just like, just go.
I can see that. I mean, that is tough. I mean, there is like a certain nerve that you get, like when you hit record, you're like, oh shit, it's game time. Like I gotta hit this. But like if you're going in and paying for studio time, like I have a belief that you should be so well versed in your shit at that point in time that like you're gonna go in and spend the least amount of money in the studio as possible. Like that's how I feel about studio time. Like you need to have your shit on lock before you ever step in there.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be tightened up. If you're going to the studio, like, look, you've practiced it for months, you got it dialed in, let's go perform it at our best, right? Not come in there, and this isn't a practice session that you some sort of have to Frankenstein a track together out of it, right? These guys have to show up and perform.
Yeah, you know, I get that a lot.
I'm
you
sure.
know, people that are not prepared. And then you got people that come in like that, but that's how they do it. You know, like my boy True Legend over here, he freestyles. He don't write. He goes in there, we play the beat, he catches it, boom, let's
Send
go.
it. Live action.
Let's go.
I'm gonna have to hear some of those for sure.
Oh yeah, it's everything.
Yeah. I like some good freestyle legends and shit, you know, because there's something about like being able to come off top like that, because you know, like when you're freestyling, like you've practiced the rhymes a little bit, like you have to have a couple rhymes on deck to be able to like put them together real quick. Like I'm way better at freestyling now than I was when I was way younger, right? Because I know the words and everything more. It's definitely an art, but freestyle to me is a major like expression of emotion. Like when I have a stressful ass day, or like, you know, I still want to vent about my ex or whatever, then like hitting that freestyle and like just on the right beat and like you really let it out, like that's therapy to me.
Yeah.
And I bet you agree on that. That's therapy right there. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the best therapy there is too.
I agree. I mean, it's like writing. You know, some people do poetry, they write books. Sitting like for me, you know, to compare it as grabbing the guitar and just coming up with a 3-chord riff, something simple that sounds good to the ear, and just start humming over it, and then the lyrics come to it. Whatever it is, it could be cliche, it could be done before, but there's just something about that expression that I don't know. It's hard to capture that anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean that's how I started recording recently now too. I'm working on a project right now, and B-Boy is producing the whole thing, and he what we do is we sit in the studio and he makes the beat from scratch. And that's how I'm able to feel it right away. And so I'll just hop in the booth and he'll just let it play and come up with melodies, you know, same as I was saying about Legend, but that's how it's the best way to do it. It's so authentic. Mm-hmm. It feels amazing.
There's nothing more authentic than that raw emotion, right in the moment, capturing it, you know, at its purest, not overthinking it, you know, because that's like when you start writing an art. I know, you know, you and I have talked about this, writing choruses, scripting verses. It gets tough because then you overthink it and you're losing touch with that initial feeling that you had when you wanted to create the track.
Yep, that's how I felt like what was going on with my lyrics and stuff. So that's why I didn't do music for so long, and then I just decided one day, hey, I'm gonna try it again, and this is the way we're trying it, and it's coming together nice, and I'm having fun doing it again.
I mean, that's what I love to hear the most, is that you're having fun, man, because it's so important, right? Because even today on this glorious planet, like we have today once, like, and it's fleeting, right? Like the day's already more than halfway over and shit. Yeah. You know, but we got this day once, and so like if you could enjoy what you do and also like do something that's bigger than yourself, then I mean that's what's really kept us coming back. Like even if we didn't get the listenership we do and all that, like I would still keep coming back just because like sitting and talking with people like you and developing the network and hearing real stories and not this fluff bullshit, like it makes me happy. Yeah, it does. And like it makes me smile, and when we play back the episode and like we start looking at some of Kevin's dumb facial expressions and some of the ones I make and shit, we'd be cheesing in here and just having a good time, and that's life. Real. That's life.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely life. That's living. That's enjoying your time, like you talked about. You know, does it feel like work? Yes, because you have to show up. You have a commitment, but you love what you do, and that's kind of the thing is when you love what you do, does it really feel like work? So it's that balance. Like you still, you know, because you obviously a busy man in your personal life. You know, you still have to balance all that. Yeah, and I think that's important too for our personal health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have so much fun doing all of it. You know, I have so much fun. I got a song where I did some Young Thug shit on it. Playboy Cardi type stuff, and I hate it, but they all told me just to leave it.
Sometimes when we judge ourselves, like we're gonna judge ourselves harder than other people do, and like we might feel like we're a little uncomfortable because that's not something we normally do, right? But we did it amazingly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like there's like that whole thing where it's like, okay, I can be uncomfortable and put that out there because, you know, own it. Hashtag own it.
Own it.
Mm-hmm. That's what we let. That's one of our hashtags over there is the hashtag own it movement, because when you own your shit and like just like we were talking about at the very beginning, like, you know, oh yeah, I'll put a band in, like, yeah, I could accommodate for that, like no problem. Like I'll figure it out. That's owning it. It's just like fucking full send, however they say it.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking the same thing when you were saying that earlier. You know, the saying "fake it till you make it" comes to mind, which I think kind of makes sense. I think we all understand what that means, but at the same time, you're not really faking it because you're diving in and doing it. Mm-hmm. But just knowing, like, look, you want me to do that? I know exactly how to do that. You know, that confidence you build with your customers. Yet, hey, if we bring a bluegrass band in, can you mic up a mandolin and a banjo and a steel guitar? You go, I know exactly how to do that. They're going to work with you.
And meanwhile, you're like, how the fuck do I do it?
YouTube. You're right on YouTube.
And it's going to sound fantastic.
It will. It will.
We'll get
because
it
you're going to spend 72 hours on the master.
I'll just go in there, record it, and I'm like, okay, is it supposed to sound like this?
Yeah, for sure. That's so funny, man. So I know we've been talking a lot about music this podcast, which is near and dear to all of us in this room. But what are like some of your favorite like hobbies? Like I know Kevin really likes to fish. Like sometimes I'll build like Gundam model wing model kits, like, you know, quirky shit, like whatever. Like, what are some of your off kilter hobbies that you like to do?
Honestly, I have none but music except for hanging out with my kids. It's the only hobby I like to do.
Just working hard.
Working hard, hanging out with the kids.
What do you do to keep them entertained? Because I'm sure they're a handful.
And whatever they want.
Yeah.
I take them outside. I'll spend all day outside if I can with them.
How old are they?
So I got one that's gonna be 13
Ooh.
here soon. I got 2 12-year-olds, and I got he's gonna be 2
Wow.
Your hands are full.
on Saturday.
Oh,
Nice.
well, happy birthday.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
it's fun. It's fun. It's stressful, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have good experiences with them, being
Yeah, man,
outdoors.
I love being a dad. Number one thing in my life is
That's
being
cool,
a dad.
man. Glad to hear that.
So are you pretty handy? Like, you know, can you like, do you got like a tool bag and could do all that kind of stuff too, or like, you know, what are you passing down is what I'm at. What are your main what are your goals as a father here? Is that too much to ask?
The goal is just to protect them, right? Just protect them. But I mean, I let my kids do what, you know, let them do them. You know, the baby, he's completely into music, which I'm fucking loving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The baby is.
The baby.
He's digging the tunes.
He is digging it. He's been to the studio a couple times when he was like just an infant. He'd be screaming his head off, and I'll throw on the music, and he's like, quiet, just looking for it. And now he just throw on YouTube, and he'll sit there and just watch music videos the whole time.
That's cool,
I
man.
fucking love it.
Start him young.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I got into it young. I always loved music as a kid, loved listening to it, but I didn't start playing guitar until I was about 23. So I got into the game late. I had no musical experience at all. Picked up the guitar. I had a buddy that taught me 3 chords, and it just changed the game. I fell in love immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, this is badass. You know, learned the rhythm. I still don't have great rhythm because I'm a terrible dancer. You know,
I wouldn't say that. I've seen you boot scoot and
right.
boogie and shit.
I'm a less than average. I'm below average. Okay, that's where I'm going to rank myself on the dance skills. But I know rhythm, right? I can keep time on the guitar. I understand the beats, the bars, all that stuff. But when it comes to dancing, I just kind of end up looking like a hunched over hillbilly.
I don't know, man. We hit this dance floor like within the last month, and I've been trying to practice and dial tune, like, you know, trying to get my moves in and shit. And so I went out there and started getting it. We had a little crew with us, and Kevin was the only one that got on the dance floor with me that
I'm not
night.
gonna leave my boy hanging out there.
You know, so I don't think that you're that bad if you're confident enough to hit the floor.
Well, that's just it. Is I'll go do it. I'll have fun doing it, and I think that's what sells it, right? Just like we talked about earlier, if you just say, hey, I know exactly how to do that, and you go out there and pretend like you do, people are going to start believing you.
Right.
But it's still not that good in my mind. There's room for improvement.
Always.
How about you? Do you cut the rug?
I do.
Really?
You know, the wife actually thinks that's why I'm sick. I got sick last week. I was out in the View House.
Okay.
That's where
Yeah.
we were.
On Sunday, and just dancing in the rain by myself. She's like, "That's where you got sick."
Just dancing in the rain.
The
Yeah.
View House will do it, man. It will do it.
Yeah, it's a fun place for sure. I definitely enjoy going down there, hanging out, having some fun. Cool venue. It's pretty close to the studio here. They put on a good time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And we went in there. It was like a Friday night, kind of turned into almost like a nightclub setting. I felt like, because
Yeah.
it's like, you know, they got the 2 levels there, which is really cool. You know, if anyone's in Denver that hasn't been, it's down off County Line.
This camera went out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I'm just gonna troubleshoot this real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live action. We send it. That's what we love about podcasting. Is anything could happen. But yeah, the View House, man, it's just a fun venue. You know, and I like it. So when we went there, because you know the top floor, I don't know where you were dancing. You said you were in the rain, so you're obviously outdoors.
Oh yeah, it was outside.
Because they got like the
first level. Yeah.
First level, because they got like the beanbag toss and stuff.
Yeah, that's where it was.
But up top, it turns into they got like a DJ that shows up with his Mac and he starts playing tunes, and it turns into like a nightclub. They move all the tables out of the way. I wasn't expecting that for that kind of bar.
Yeah. I had a blast. It was like Sunday fun day for my sister's birthday, and I had too much fun. Bank account did not like it.
I mean, when you're having a good time, it's easy to get a little carried away.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to rack up the tab. I wrote a song called Shot of Whiskey, and in that tune I talked about how, you know, me and the boys racked up a tab so high, it's time to tab out and get out of here, man, because I'm not going to be able to pay the bills tomorrow. You know, just one of those deals. When you're out having fun, you're like, who cares, right? Own it now.
Yeah.
Figure it out later.
Yeah, man, I spent like $500 of that day, and I was just woke up the next morning like, damn it. But I needed it.
Yeah.
That was when I just came back from Texas, moving my mom all weekend, and I had to let loose.
Yeah. Hear that, man? You know, work hard, play hard kind of thing, right?
Well,
Yeah, no, I get how that goes for sure. I mean, gotta let loose. Gotta go enjoy what's going on. And there's a lot of good spots in Denver, though, I feel like, too. You know, I don't get too much into the downtown culture, but I hear there's some good spots. And there's all these places people are telling me, you gotta go check this place out, or you gotta go see this. You know, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. Really, I don't really go out too much. I was a dad too early, and skipped out on that part of life.
You had duties to attend to pretty much immediately.
Yep. So I was going out is not the life for me.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
No, I hear you, man. Well, let's see. Art, what's going on over there, bud? We're getting a live action report.
So I'm trying to figure out why it's not working.
Well, technical
Oh wait, no, I figured it out. This is unplugged.
It's out just a little bit.
Way underneath there. This will fix it.
Technical failures are a big part of what happens in this business, especially
we're
when
back. We're back.
We're
How
back
is it?
live.
Yep.
We're back live, guys. We're back.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those in a minute. It's fun to
When a
have
cord-
those live fixes. You guys did a great job. No.
Well, first of all, I'm sure, you know, anytime you got all these cords and shit running around, just like you do in your studio, something gets knocked off, something gets turned off, you're like, what happened? You know, and it's best option is just start unplugging shit and replugging it in, right? I always feel like it's the best way to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally the power cord. So the power cord was true connecting to the camera, but then coming back to the extension cord, it was true, but then that extension cord plugs into another extension cord was not true.
Power was disconnected. We're back live.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No, but it's fun getting out there, man, and like cutting loose and dancing a little bit. So the kiddos, you're teaching them a little bit about music. You just want them to find their own journey is kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's all I want them to do. Be their own person. That's what I stress to them about the most, you know. I'll see them out there like trying to do what other kids are doing, what they see on social media and TV,
Influenced.
you know. Yeah, and it was like, no, do what you like, do you, you know.
That's what I really liked about Danny Del Reals. I was actually just saying this at the Fountains earlier because we were hanging out up front waiting for you guys. And I loved his approach to it of find your own success. I love how he said that too, you know, because we talk about this so much on this cast. I'm sure you've heard, you know, that just the influence of social media can have such negative impacts on not only the young kids' lives, but adult lives.
Yeah.
And you get sucked into this stuff. And it's like, well, wait a second. Do I really even believe what I'm believing in anymore? Or am I just trying to, you know, match society's standards and fall into some of this nonsense? And, you know, it's different for everybody. But I feel like all I know is, at 13, you said, is your oldest?
Yeah, he's gonna be 13 this month.
If I had, you know, when I was 13, right, we're older, if I had the social medias and stuff, man, I don't know. I just feel like knowing myself at that age, I was already dealing enough with just going to high school and dealing with, or middle school and being bullied and all this stuff. You add in all these temptations and these pressures and these judgments from social media. This young generation is up against a difficult time.
Yeah, like we try to keep our daughters completely away from it.
That's excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
It's you know, they want this and that. We're just like, you know, we trust you, but I don't trust the world. There's too many people that it's too easy to contact people.
That's a good way to say it.
You know what I mean? And I can't deal with that. Like, I'll go crazy.
I like the way you worded that. You know, we trust you, we don't trust the world. Because man, and who does right now?
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
can't.
it's crazy.
You
bro.
can't trust the world. You know, but that's the thing though too, is even where I'm at in my life, like, you know, minimal social media. Like, I'll still get pulled onto the DCPC Instagram sometimes and just be looking at straight up nonsense bullshit. And that's the thing, is like, it doesn't matter how responsible you are. Like, the shit is addicting, and like, it will pull you in. And a life without social media and that comparison is filled with more like meaning. It's past the surface.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, we always bring up to the kids like, hey, we didn't have all this growing up. You know, this is how you found your friends. You went down the street and you found the house with all the bikes in front.
That's it.
Yeah.
You say,
That's
hey,
With all the bikes in front.
You know what I mean?
knock
That's
on the
how
door
you
and you say, hey, can you come out and
Yeah.
play?
Yep, let's go. Let's go right. You know,
Where the
like,
bikes at today?
Yep, that's how we did. But now it's too scary outside in the world to do
Yeah.
that.
I know, right?
You
I know.
That's a good point. And it does date us a little bit, man. I mean, I just remember when I was that age, you know, my mom, dad, and aunts and uncles are always like, oh, when we were your age, you know, we were out there playing hopscotch and drawing chalk on the sidewalks. And now it's like we're all sitting around kind of having these similar conversations of, yeah, you'd go find where the bikes are at. Or, you know, maybe you heard some loud music coming out of a garage. And you're like, I kind of like that. Let me go hang out with them. Now it's like you just sit there on your phone and have these weird fake connections.
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate when I walk into the living room and see the kids just on the phones. I hate it.
I don't
I'm just
blame
like,
you.
get off. Like,
Yeah.
go color. You know?
Dude.
Go draw something.
Yeah.
Yeah, go out in the backyard and dig in the dirt or something. You know, experience life.
So I'll go ahead and admit to this because the listeners know this, but I've been like really trying hard over the past 6 to 7 months to put down meaningful social media scrolling. Like, there's some meaningful stuff I could do on there, but who's kidding who? The majority is meaningless. And today and yesterday were weak for me, bro. Like, I was on the fucking apps constantly during my downtime. And I'm gonna say this again because I know I've said this before, but my mentality and my mind frame after that 48 hours that I just experienced of like not disciplining myself on social media, like, I felt weird, bro. Like, it fucks with us. Every single one of us.
It does.
It just clouds your mind, you know, because then you get off and that's all you're thinking of is what
Yeah.
you just saw.
That's true. And you know, we all know that, of course, and I think we have a good grasp on it, but I think a lot of folks then compare themselves. They'll hop off there, they lay down, they put their head on their pillow, and they go, man, I wonder if I look as good as that person, or if I sound as good as that person, or if I have as many followers as this person. And there's all these different variables that now are coming at them that is creating social unhappiness. And then it creates them like, well, maybe I'm just going to delete my social media, and then they don't want to go out. And then they're just sitting indoors, you know? So I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is, but I know that this isn't really a good thing.
No, it's not. You know, I only have a Facebook. The IG that I have is only for the studio,
business.
you know, and I find myself always scrolling through it, but even then, like, now I limit myself because I'm just like, I don't need to be on here.
Right.
You know, if I'm not posting some type of promo to try to get people in, I don't need to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's meaningful.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
it's
the-
meaningless.
Meaningless,
if
yeah.
the friends that I have on there, if they're, you know, the ones that I really talk to, they got my number.
Yep.
I got
Exactly.
theirs.
The
so
important, yeah,
we're
the
good.
people that you need to keep in touch with and that know how to get in contact with you, know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. No.
Yeah.
And that's that old school approach. And that's something that's always been consistent, reliable. It's there. You don't need this fake barrier and the filters and all that stuff to cloud the judgment and the communication stream of, hey, let me just call them up. What's up, bro? Myles, I want to come down and bring my Martin guitar in. When are you free?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You know,
And this is I mean, this is a subject we touch at least bi-weekly. And it's just an important reminder, right? Like, if you really want a real connection with somebody and to like actually like feel like you're having some meaningful impact with somebody, like, you're gonna have to get on the phone and call them. Like, just call somebody, and then like, you will be surprised like what that will do for that person. Like, what if the person that you're hitting up that day, like, they've been really like feeling disconnected or like no one cares or something, and like, sure, they might be texting with people and talking about surface level shit, but no one's actually called them to have a real conversation like, hey, how's life? You know, how's it treating you? And to lead on to the next point, like, don't be afraid to, like, tell people about the hard times. Like, a lot of people are like, how's your day going? And if it's somebody that actually genuinely cares, then you should really tell them how your day is, you know, even if it is shitty.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone's scared to do that because everyone's getting bashed.
Yeah.
You know, about their feelings.
It's true.
You know, and I had to deal with that with my daughter this year. We had to take her out of school because she was getting bullied.
Jeez.
Because she was she was at a new school, new district, first year of middle school, and she was just trying to get friends, and these girls that have been clicked together for years, just, you know, just mean, like, nasty mean. Like, it's like, why is a little 10, 11-year-old talking like this to another?
Terrible.
Like, it's bad. It was bad. Like, it hurt me. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, so we had to get her out of there.
That's a good call, man. Bullying's no joke. You know, I took a hard stance against it in my high school. I was bullied as a kid. That's where a lot of my anger came from. I've been pretty open about this on this program. You know, bullying is something we've all been through. I mean, it's kind of accepted in certain areas, but I think that it needs to be addressed because it's just not. It's not. You know, people are going to experience it when we're there. You're going to deal with shitty people, but it's nonsense at the same time. And I think that the public school system could do a better job with it. I mean, we can't micromanage what everybody does, but I think that you made a good call there by pulling her out of that system, you know, and trying something different. But, yeah, no one should be subjected to that. Like, we're all, you know, they're there to learn, right?
And I feel like the schools don't care at all. And then on top of that, the kids are scared to tell the schools because then they get called snitches and get, you know what I mean? And it's just like,
it's a weird system.
It's a difference between snitching on something and trying to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if we defend ourselves now, like we used to, at least me, you know, with our fist, it's like a way bigger issue now too. So it's like, how am I supposed to tell them to stick up for themselves if we can't do anything?
That's a good point. Yeah, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, because I mean, we were taught, you know, don't take any lip, stand up for what you believe in, you know, fight back a little bit, which I think there still holds value to an extent. But the public school system, I think, is the problem, and I won't go too far into that. That's a whole nother podcast. But it's a tough deal because, you know, you got kids and you want to get them educated, and it's expensive to homeschool or private school them. But the public school system, man, I think is very toxic, and that's just one of the many reasons why.
Yeah, and you know, my mentality, telling her just punch them. You know, I mean, that's what I did. You know, because I was
take them out.
You know, I was the short kid growing up in school and stuff. So all the tall kids, I was trying to pick at me.
That's how I was, man.
So I had to step up at that point.
Yeah.
You know,
That's where
my only
from,
suggestion that I would change is instead of punch is kick. Because people don't expect that. Like, people don't expect
take out
kicks.
the legs.
No, I did Muay Thai kickboxing for only 2 weeks of my life, and it was hard. But, like, it changed a lot. Like, I learned the legs. And, like, if you fuck with the legs, like, stepping on toes and shit, like, that kind of stuff, like, that was day one-on-one training in Muay Thai. They're like, yeah, step on toes. Like, that's how you're going to distract your opponent. And, like, throw a kick to their fucking kneecap. See how that feels on them. You know, because no one's expecting the leg, right? And the leg is way stronger. So, you know, I mean, I'm not encouraging violence.
No.
But if you need to defend yourself, you know, throw some legs up in the mix. You know, I would like to see more kicks in the street fights that I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Reddit. Because I'm not in the mix with that bullshit.
I definitely I agree with that. You know, on the topic of self-defense, it's tough though when you're young because, you know, the social skills aren't quite developed yet. You know, you're very vulnerable to a lot of things. You know, so as much because I do agree. You know, you want to get down in the pocket. You know, you're ready to go. You want to stand up for that. Like, look, fuck off. You know, give it right back. Because what is it with bullying? They want a reaction, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They want you to cower away. And if you stand up and say, look, this is bullshit. You know, fuck off, this, that, and the other, or you don't let it bother you. That's tough, though, at that age, man. There's no way. When I was 14 years old, that shit fucking tore me up. It was half the reason I ended up in therapy. You know what I mean? So it's tough to teach that to a 14-year-old. But I agree with everything you're saying. I think just defending yourself at any means necessary. And really standing up for it.
I do not condone in violence. I don't. You know what I mean? It's just there are certain situations where that might have to.
It's necessary.
You know.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, I mean, if you're getting physically, you know, like the old saying, if someone throws the first punch, then fucking go ape shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That is definitely my number one thing I tell my kids. Is
If they
as
touch
soon
you,
as they touch you,
unleash.
you don't stop.
Exactly. And I do agree with that. You know, I agree with that. Obviously, you know, as a gun toter, I'm a big self-defense guy. You know, I bring it around to protect myself.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck with me, you know, not that I want to use deadly force, but if it gets to that, I have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it shouldn't have to come to that, though. The bottom line, if we can't talk this out, you know, all right, let's take it to the next level. You know, let's go up the ladder a little bit. How far do we want to take this thing? Because I'm willing to negotiate.
Yeah. See, me, and I've learned to just take a deep breath and walk away now.
That's
Yeah.
good,
You know what I
man.
mean? Because, I mean, you know, like I said,
That's the one.
I've been a dad early, so I had to. Like, I couldn't sit around and act like that anymore because I got to be there for my babies.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm not going to be one that's not there. I can't do that.
I respect all of
yeah,
that.
total respect for that, man. I mean, you know, there's a lot of mothers and there's a lot of fathers out there that didn't want the job and they left. So kudos and like respect for actually taking on the responsibility. You know,
That's a solid lad move right there.
Yeah,
For sure.
I would say so.
It's a big commitment, you know, like you were saying, with your hobbies, you know, your kids are included in that. It shows you how much passion you have for your free time to be with your kids and to guide them and to spend time with them. And it goes a long way, man.
And COVID, I got to be home with them, and you know, and the baby was just born in 2020, and during the whole thing, I was able to really connect and, you know, form a bond with the baby.
Being indoors and
You know what I mean? Being home.
yeah,
You know, with the others, you know, I wasn't able to be there
Sure.
because I'm working.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm there, but I'm working, coming home tired, doing what I need to do. But you know, for the most part, you know, that was the connection I have with the baby is just crazy, and
awesome,
I
man.
love it.
That's great. Glad to hear that for sure. You know, good way to spend your time. Good way to unwind when you're not doing, you know, doing the music thing and doing editing and producing. And I get it. It's
Yeah.
important. We got to have that work-life balance.
Yeah.
Focus on the things that matter. You know, I mean, I don't have kids. You know, I go into myself now. You know, so when I'm not focused here, I'm doing me. And that's important too. We got to maintain our mental and physical health.
Yep, you got to do you, but doing me is my kids.
Love it, man. Solid lad. I respect the hell out of that.
So good segue, but I feel like based on the conversation we've just been having, but I'm curious though, for the one piece of advice, if you could offer one piece of advice to humanity so everybody could be better tomorrow, kids, people, strangers you don't know, everyone, what would that piece of advice be?
Just do you, and don't worry about what everybody else thinks, says, wants for you. Do you. Do it the Dolo way. That's dream, opportunity, live optimistic.
Love it. Doesn't get much more direct, decisive to the point than that. I dig it, man. Do you. Find what works. Get rid of the nonsense. Ignore the noise. Focus on what's working.
Yep. That's all.
With it.
You know, that's all it is to say. That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you gotta hear. Everyone cares about what he thinks or she thinks. He says what he wants me to do and whatnot. Do what you want. Do what you need. That's the only thing. That's the way you're gonna be happy. That's the way you're gonna be successful.
So true, man. I mean, that's perfect advice. Like, I've over the past couple years, I've been really looking at it like, all right, the only true fight, the only battle that I have to win is the one against myself. Like, I'm the only one in my way. Like, I'm the only one creating problems for me. Like, I don't blame anybody else for my circumstance or my situation. Like, I'll hold myself accountable. Like, I am my worst enemy. I'm my biggest obstacle. You know, so if you can, like, really look at it like that and do you, right? Do you. But what does that mean? Like, being authentic to yourself and being true to yourself. Like, and even if that means that you have to disappoint people along the way because it doesn't follow your guidelines, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's great advice, you know? Everybody out there, just, you know, once you figure out like who you really are and what you really stand for, like to the core, like it's damn near impossible for anybody to knock you off that, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what doing you means to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means to me.
Like no one can bug me now because I'm cool. I know what I'm here for. I know what I stand for. I don't give a shit what you say anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I no one bothers me anymore. And it shows. Everyone tells me, why don't you care about anything? Because I'm chilling. I'm good.
You focused on you.
You
Focus
know?
on things that matter.
Yeah.
Ignore the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
It's beautiful,
Good stuff,
man.
Good stuff. This is a great episode, man. I really appreciate, you coming down, hanging out with us, and, promoting Dolo. We'll obviously include everything in the show notes down below. You guys know where to find all the juicy information.
Yep.
And, we like to do repeat guests, so you'll be back in the wheelhouse probably in the next 6 to 12 months or so. And
Sounds good to me.
yeah, man.
Absolutely,
Good times.
absolutely. Listeners out there, challenge this week is to do you. And what I mean by that is to really solidify, like, are you doing things that make you happy? Are you just checking boxes in life? Are you looking outside of the boxes that you're checking? Like, these are all questions that are really important to self-happiness. Like, what did you do today to take care of yourself? Like, for example, I went on at least 2 30-minute walks. That was 1 hour I dedicated to myself fully just for me. That was for me. And, like, I love that time for myself. So I feel like everybody out there, challenge yourself to do you. Spend at least 30 minutes to an hour doing something specifically for yourself. And regardless if you have a family, regardless of your obligations, you should be able to make, like, 30 minutes to an hour, right? Like, you should be able to. So that's my challenge for this week.
Solid challenge, man. We'll wrap this thing up. Got a lot of good things coming your way this summer. Obviously, you're in Jamaica next week, guys, so we're going to be doing kind of a fun Zoom. You'll be there. I'll be here. We're going to make that work. Going to keep this train rolling. Myles, thanks again for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Great conversation. We're going to keep it moving for sure, and I look forward to playing my Mark guitar in your studio.
I look forward to it.
Let's do it, man, for sure. Listeners, you already know. Be good to yourselves. You deserve it.